Maybe it's my algorithm, maybe it's just an uptick in this kind of behavior, but I wanted to touch on something for people that are experiencing like a group of people coming after them in any kind of like malicious targeting kind of a way. It's not usually some massive conspiracy, it's just psychological war tactics being done on you to drive you crazy, so that way you're doing all the work for them, my friend. A perfect example is the eBay stalking case. It proved the real world corporate backed harassment campaigns that don't use laser beams. There's no high tech mind control, no voice to skull technology. Well, yes, it's patented, it's not being, super used against people. You're having auditory hallucinations, probably due to sleep deprivation from fear tactics that they're using against you. So one of the things that they like to do is a lot of middle of the night disruptions, right? Whether it's people driving by to where it's triggering your cameras, or people, jiggling your door handles, or, hacking into your Alexas to play music in the middle of the night, and all kinds of weird tactics to keep you on edge, right? You're trying to sleep and there's sirens going off, or there's loud horns, or it's those kinds of things are used specifically because what it does is sleep is an anchor for sanity and emotional regulation. If you strip that away, the brain completely unravels. In real harassment cases, targets are subjected to, right? And because of that, it causes hypervigilance. When you don't feel safe in your own home, your cortisol and adrenaline spikes 24/7. You can't enter deep restorative sleep because your brain thinks it's constantly under siege. After just a few days of this, a person starts having micro sleeps, cognitive decline, and actual hallucinations. So if you're dealing with this kind of thing, you have to learn to sleep through it. I'm not kidding. Take melatonin, do what you need to do, but you need to find a way to convince your body you're safe so that way you can finally sleep, okay? Because the thing is, they're wanting to disorient the reality, the gaslighting effect. The cruelty of these tactics is that they are chosen specifically because they sound completely unbelievable. In the eBay case, the victims received live cockroaches, spiders, a funeral wreath, and bloody pig masks. If they had told a coworker, hey, someone from Silicon Valley is mailing me bugs and pig fetuses, it'd sound like a mental breakdown, right? It could be other things. It could be playing threatening music on your Alexa, or, if they're hacked into your devices, because people can do this thing where they'll send out a text to you with a link and it'll look legit. They'll send it through email, text messages, and then if you click on it, boom, they're in your phone. They can mirror your screen and they can sometimes even control it remotely. So what they'll do is they'll type threatening things like, I'm gonna kill you, into a search bar, or just weird shit, right, to try and scare you. Again, it's just a fear tactic. That's all that's happening to you, my friends. Disorienting the reality. They're wanting to make you look and sound crazy through plausible deniability, right? They'll even send people in to help you, somebody to be on your side. Basically, in the eBay stalking case, one of the stalkers actually planned to step forward as a helpful friend from eBay security, pretending to look into the harassment to gain the victim's trust and to spy on the police reports. And then what they would do is they would manufacture a crisis and then pretend to be the solution. Then the harasser keeps the victim completely off balance, never knowing who is safe and who is an enemy, which ends up, completely breaking down any circle of support that you may have, because you learn that, well, I don't know who to trust, right? That's another thing. So you have to remain open, as hard as it is. You have to use discernment. A lot of times when they send in these bad actors, they're not very good at it. You're going to notice, because they're going to say one thing, but then they're going to be doing another thing, right? It's not hard. Just use discernment. And by doing this, they're overloading the nervous system. When someone is kept in a state of constant dread, their prefrontal cortex, the logic and reasoning center of the brain, the most important part of the brain, essentially shuts down, and the amygdala, the fear center, takes over. They become easily startled, paranoid, and reactive. At that point, the perpetrators don't even have to do much anymore. The target's own exhausted, terrified brain begins to overinterpret every random coincidence as a new threat. This tragic intersection between this and the voice to skull stuff that I'm seeing all over, which it's like, it's not really a thing in the way that you're convincing yourself it is. They can't plant ideas in your head, right? They can't do that. And they can't mind read. What it's basically doing is, if you're noticing things like your phone, this is something I saw somebody talking about where they were like, oh, my phone can read my mind. No, it can't. No, it can't. It's algorithm. It is watching how you scroll, how long you pause on a video. It is collecting data of the things that you Google search, the words that you copy to paste later to look up. It gathers all of this, and then it puts you in a group with a bunch of other people that are very similar in how you move, and then that's how it guesses. It's literally just math and science. It's not some magical thing that, no. So I hope it gets better for y'all. Biggest thing is move away, get away from wherever it is that you're in, especially if you know that there are people that are looking the other way and not doing their jobs. And that's all you can do, is just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. But you have to kind of take a step back and be like, what is actually real and what isn't? And then you need to kind of allow yourself to, go through the motions and sit in that fear, because that's the biggest thing. You have to sit in it, and you have to allow yourself to realize, like, oh, I'm actually not in danger. It's not real. This is manufactured drama. These are manufactured crises. And the more and more that you kind of hit this, like, oh, I see it for what it is, it goes away and it stops. And eventually, like, this whole, like, they're crazy narrative, it stops. Because of the fact that you're not as reactive, you're not as all over the place, right? Because it is very much a scary thing. Having people break into your house, hacking into your cameras, stealing your mail, it's a very scary thing. Having people look into your medical records, and then, when you request an investigation into it, you get a letter that it's completely different person. It's not even you, saying they didn't find anything. That stuff is very real. That stuff is very scary. But you have to remember that a lot of it is just psychological tactics to push you to a state of exhaustion to where you look crazy. Just take a deep breath. Okay? You're not, that's all it is. It's psychological warfare. But yeah, I hope you guys get better, because the hyperfixation on it and constantly posting about it and constantly like, oh, see this it's not doing what you're hoping it's doing. It's not, I'm sorry.